Alright, so this is the review for the Unit 7 test. Remember, we're going to be testing in 2 sections. This part is actually going to be day 2. So I'm going to try to go as fast as possible through it just because it's going to be a lengthy video. Remember, you can always hit pause and rewind if you need. So numbers 1 through 4 we're rewriting in exponential form. So remember, this is log base 10. We don't have a 10 there, so we fill it in, and then we swish and flick. So we always start at the base. 10 to the negative 2 equals x. Here we have z to the 1/2 equals 4. Swish and flick. That's it. That's all we do. On ln, remember the base is e. So we fill in the e just like we filled in the 10 for log, and then we just go e to the x equals 12. Number 4, we put a little e there. E to the x equals 1. Now we're going the opposite direction. Now we're going from exponential to log. So 2 to the x. Now the way I do it, and the way my brain works best, is I start off by writing log. My base is my base, so 2 is the base of the exponent, so I put a 2 there, a little 2. And then I just think about switching and flicking. And I think 2 to the 12, or 2 to the x, right? So the x is going to be over here, equals 12. And I just, in my mind or write it out, I verify that way. Is that 2 to the x equals 12? Yes, it is. Number 6, you can look at number 3. It's pretty much the same thing. E to the x equals 15, e to the x equals 12. You can pretty much rewrite number 3 as the same thing with the 15. ln 15 equals x. But again, if you figure the e being here, e to the x, you can check it, either mentally or with the pencil. Those arrows really do help. So on number 7, I start off by writing log. I can write log base 10, or I can just leave it log. If it helps you see that, that's fine. So 10 to the x equals 0.001. And again, you could just write that as log 0.001 equals x. Perfectly acceptable answer. 8, just write the word log. And my base is 8. I want to think about x. 8 to the 2/3 equals x. And there we go. So if it helps you drawing the arrows or working backwards, go for it. All right, 9 through 14, we are evaluating. So on number 9, you can think about this being equal to x. 3 to the what power is 243? Well, that's x equals 5. Your other option is, nothing wrong with it, you've got the tool there. Remember, you can just go to Math Key. Okay, sorry. Can't do it when I have the, forgot, marker on. So go to the Math Key. Why is it? Okay, just go to the computer, sorry. Board's not responding. Go to the Math Key. It's actually faster to go up instead of down. Hit enter on log base, and you can put in the 3 and the 243. Just having a day today. 243, and hit enter, and there you go, 5. So options. Again, 4 to the what power is 1 over 64? Well, think about it. 4 to the 3rd would give you 64, but since it's 1 over 64, you need to make sure you put -3. So that's what's going to do, give you the fraction form. This means 27 to what power is 3? 27 to what power is 3? Well, again, you can rewrite this in the same base form. So 27 is really 3 to the 3rd equals 3 to the x. So x equals x goes there. This is a 1. So now I have the same base. I basically say 3x equals 1. Not a lot of room here. So x is 1/3. There's my answer. Another way to think about it is 27, take the cube root of it, you get 3. So the cube root of 27, or the 1/3, is 3. All right, 15 through 19. Just straight up use the calculator on this one. So ln 23.6. ln 23.6. Enter, and there's your answer. And it says round to the nearest hundredths, so 3.16. Log 14. Again, just pull up your calculator, hit the log button, not log base, just log. That's 14. Enter. And there you go, 1.146. Now be careful, that's going to be 1.15. Pay attention to your rounding. It says there's hundredths. So the 4 becomes a 5 because of the 6 next to it. Pay attention to that. Log 3/7, log base 3 of 7. So here is where you hit the math key because the base is not 10. Now I'm going to put a 3 here and put a 7 here and hit enter. And there we go, 1.77. E to the -2. Well, where's E? E is second n. So you hit second ln, and then you do -2, and there's your answer. And again, look, the 3 is going to round up because of the 5 next to it. And then -2e to the 3. Very similar, except this time put the -2 in first, then go to your second e, and put in a 3, enter, and there you go. -40.171, so this time it rounds down, so -40.17. Expanding. Remember, you're going to write log 5 2 times, one for the 3 and one for the x to the 4. So log 5 of 3 times becomes plus log 5 of x to the 4th. Last shall be first, and some of you just go right to this step, and that's fine. If you're comfortable with that, you can go right to this point. And that's it. That's your answer. All right. 21. This x minus 2, the binomial with the minus in there, you can't touch that. All right. So we're just going to move this in front, and that's 3 log base 6 of x minus 2, and we're finished. Now, log base 2, I have 2 items, 1, 2. I see a division symbol. That means I'm going to be doing subtraction. So it's going to be x plus 3, in parentheses, minus log base 2 of 10. And remember, you should always check when you have the situation like this, we have 2 and 10. Can 2 become 10 with an exponent? No, it can't. But just get in the habit of always checking. Because if that 10 was, say, a 16, then you could change log 2 of 16 to 4. So just be mindful of that. 23, we have 3 items. So we're going to write log 2 3 times. Log 2, and some of you do that. I've seen some people do this. That's okay. You just got to make sure you space it out enough. So log 2 of x squared. The y is on top, so we're going to put plus log 2 of y. The 5 is on the bottom, and we do that. Last step is to make sure we move the exponent in front. 2 log 2 of x plus log 2 of y minus log 2 of 5. That's it. This one's a tricky part one, kind of throwing some people off. First, you want to distribute the 3. Now you may ask, how is that different than 21 right above it? Well, that's because you had x minus 2. You can't deal with that. You don't want to distribute that because then you actually have to FOIL your parentheses, and that's just nasty. So you can do it here because it is multiplication. So what we really have is ln of 4 cubed, which is 64, z cubed. Now we write our ln of 64 plus our ln of z cubed, last shall be first, ln of 64 plus 3 ln of z. All right, how many items do we have here? We have 3. So we have ln of a. On the top, we have ln of b cubed. That's going to go here next step. And subtraction means, division means subtraction, ln of x. Finish it up by cleaning it up. ln of a plus 3 ln of b minus ln of x. Yeah, that's a lot of letters. Remember, going too fast, hit pause, come back to what you need. Just trying to save time in this video. Condense. So we're going to write log 4 only one time. That's it. Once I'm done, cannot be tempted to write it again. Everything subtracted is going to go on the bottom. Okay? So the 70 is going to go on top. This 3 is going to become the exponent of the x. And there's no exponent on the y. So that goes on the bottom like so. 27. Now this one's tricky. And there's actually 2 answers, and they're both correct, depending on how you look at it. If you think about this, and put the 4 up there and the 2 up here, and you write ln only one time, which it says to do, condense. So that would be, you have a subtraction symbol, e to the 4th on top. X, see the subtraction? That's going to be on the bottom, division. And then the plus in front of the y squared means the y squared goes on top. Now, another way to do that is if you look over here and say ln e is just 1, then that's 4 plus ln, the x goes on the bottom, and the y squared still goes on top. They're both okay. They're both correct. The first one is technically more correct because the instructions say condense down to one item. The second option is correct, and I would accept that also because you're using the concept of ln e being 1. It's going to say same thing on number 30. Okay, 28. 2 log 4s. I'm only going to write log 4, base 4 once. The 7 is going to become the exponent of the y. I have no minus sign, so I have no division. So I'm just going to write y to the 7th and z to the 1/2. And I'm finished. Log base 8, I'm going to write it once because I'm condensing. I see a subtraction symbol, I write a division symbol right away. Fraction bar. 16 goes on the top, 2 goes on the bottom. But I'm not finished yet because this simplifies to this. I'm still not finished because if I look at this, 8 to what power is 8? That simplifies to just 1. That's the answer, 1. If you left it here, you get mainly most of your points, but it would be partial credit off because you didn't simplify it all the way. So number 30 is like number 27. You have 2 options. You can treat the ln e as 1 and just say that's 5 plus ln. On the top, we have an a. And on the bottom, subtraction means division, we have b cubed. Or, if you wanted to treat it all as 1 ln, the 5 would go here, it'd be on top, along with the a, and the b cubed would be on the bottom. No problem, whatever way you want to go with it. All right. So, easiest way to do this problem is to find a common base. This is 2 to the 1, so I leave it alone. This is 2 squared. Remember, I'm just taking the 4. It's like a game. You're substituting one player in for another. 2 squared is the same thing as 4. But I also have this x plus 2 up here. Now I have the same base, I can get rid of it. I'm left with 3x equals 2x plus 4 after I distribute my 2. Subtract 2x, I get x equals 4, and I'm finished. 32. Remember, the key to these problems is condense, condense, condense. Don't do anything. Don't cancel logs, don't squish and flick until you have one log. So plus means times. I'm just going to have 2x times 8. Now I could write another line and make that 16x, or just do it in the next step. Now I'm going to squish and flick, and I'm going to do that because I only have a log on one side. So that's 4 cubed equals 16x. 4 cubed is 64. I divide by 16, x equals 4 again. 33. I don't have any logs, but there's no way to rewrite 7 to become 28 with an exponent. So I need to log both sides. So first step is log 7, 2x minus 5 equals log 28. Now I move last step first. 2x minus 5 times log 7 equals log 28. Now ultimately I'm trying to get that x by itself. So I need to get rid of the log 7. That cancels. I'm left with 2x minus 5 equaling a decimal. And that decimal is just log 28. Remember to close the parentheses on the calculator. Let me just show you real quick, just to make sure. When you're doing something like this, when you hit log 28, if you just hit divide by log 7, look what your answer is. Now if I do log 28, close parentheses, divide by log 7, and those parentheses aren't as important. They're close, but it's different. It's a different answer. So you got to be careful with that. It's 1.71. Now, add 5 to both sides, 6.71. Divide by 2, x equals 3.36. Moving on. Okay, I'm going to ln both sides. So I'm going to write ln 12 equals ln e to the 2x. As soon as I write ln e, I can get rid of it. If you want to think about moving that in front, that's fine. Some people, if you want to do the extra step, do 2x ln e and then cross it out, whatever. ln 12 is a decimal. So we end up with 2x equals ln 12 is 2.48. Divide by 2, x is 1.24. Okay, now I do have an ln, but I'm missing a letter. So that's a little e right there. I only have one ln, so I don't have to condense. So I'm going to squish and flip. E to the 7th equals x over 3. Remember, when you flip and swish and flick, it goes away. There is no ln, no log left. Now e to the 7th is 1096.63 equals x over 3. And that's just typing in the calculator. Now I need to multiply by 3, and I get x is equal to 3,289.90. All right, number 36, I only have one log on each side, so goodbye. And at that point, I'm back to a very basic Algebra 1, even pre-algebra problem. 3x plus 12 equals 5x minus 36. Subtract 3x, I get 2x. Add 36, I get 48. Divide by 2, I get 24. We're almost there. 37. Rewrite in the same form, same base. 3 is already fine. 9 is 3 squared, but I got the x minus 2 here. Bases go away. 3x is equal to 2x minus 4. Don't forget to distribute to both. 2x minus 2 is the most common mistake there. Subtract 2x, and I get x equals negative 4. Now, 38. Here's what you cannot do. Oh, I have ln's on both sides. Remember, the reason you can't do that is because then people are going to write this. X plus, do not write this down, x minus 4 equals 5. And that will lead you to the wrong answer. That is mathematically incorrect. Remember, condense, condense, condense. Plus means times. not working. There we go. So now I can get rid of my LNs. And I'm going to distribute my x. Move the 5 over. And this is a very simple guess and check. I need two numbers to multiply, give me 5. That's different, but there's only one way. And I want more negatives, because the negative 4, which gives me x equals 5 and x equals negative 1. Now, you plug both those back in. You have to do the work. Plug them both in, run the numbers with your calculator. It's very easy. You're going to find out that negative 1 is extraneous. 39. First thing I need to do here is get rid of the 5. So that gives me 2e to the 3x equals 26. Now, get rid of the 2. E to the 3x equals 13. Now, I can ln both sides. And some people will move that right down there at the same time. That's fine. If you're getting more comfortable with it, that's okay. Ln e is 1. So I end up with 3x equals, what's ln 13 as a decimal? 2.56. Divide by 3, and I get x equals 0.85. Number 40, again, we want to get the ln by itself, so we're going to subtract 10. Ln of 2x plus 5, 2x over 5 equals 13 minus 10, 3. Now, I have one ln by itself, e here, swish, and flip. So I got e to the 3 equals 2x over 5. Now, e to the 3 is 20.09 equals 2/5 x, so 2x over 5, same thing. Now, there's two ways to go about this. You can multiply both sides by 5, then divide by 2, or you can do it in one fell swoop, because you just multiply by the reciprocal, which is multiplying by 5 and dividing by 2 just at the same time. So those cancel, and you end up with x equals 50.23, rounded. Okay, one log, we squish and flick. So that's 3 to the 4 equals 4x minus 15. 3 to the 4 is 81. We add 15. 4x equals 96. Divide by 4. X is 24. And last one for this section. We're going to minus the 7. So that's 3e to the 4x equals 15. Divide by 3. E to the 4x equals 5. Ln both sides. I said, if you want to move the 4x here right now, that's fine. Equals ln 5. That's gone. 4x is equal to ln of 5, which is, I don't have it written down, sorry. .61, rounded. Divide that by 4. And you end up with 0.402. And I'm going to leave it at 40 because it says round to the hundreds. And that's it.